My name is Elena. I am 38 years old, and for the longest time, I believed I had built the perfect life. I work from home as a graphic designer, which gave me the flexibility to raise our two beautiful children, Sophia, who is now 10, and Mateo, who just turned 8. My husband, Javier, is a sales manager for a large tech company. We met 15 years ago in university, fell deeply in love, and married 12 years ago in a sun-drenched ceremony in Seville. Everyone said we were the couple others envied, passionate, supportive, inseparable. Our apartment in Madrid overlooked a lush park where the kids played almost every afternoon. Weekends were filled with family outings, picnics, visits to museums, or short trips to the coast. Javier was affectionate, always leaving little notes in my laptop bag or surprising me with flowers. He traveled frequently for work, sometimes to Barcelona, Valencia, or even abroad, but he called every night without fail, sent photos of hotel views, and brought back souvenirs for Sophia and Mateo. I never questioned his loyalty. Trust was the quiet foundation of everything we had. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, things began to change. It started with small, dismissible details. Javier came home later than usual, claiming client dinners ran long. He started using a new cologne that I didn't recognize. His phone, once left casually on the counter, now stayed in his pocket, screen always facing down. He changed the password twice in a month. I told myself I was overthinking. After all, he still kissed me goodnight, still helped with the kids' homework, still said, "I love you" every morning. Then came the October business trip to Barcelona. He was supposed to be away for 3 days for a regional conference. On the second night, I couldn't sleep. A strange restlessness gripped me. The kids were asleep, the apartment silent. Almost on impulse, I opened Javier's work laptop. He'd left it at home because he was using the company tablet at the hotel. His email account was still logged in. What I found destroyed me. There were hundreds of messages exchanged with a woman named Carla, a marketing coordinator in the Barcelona office. The thread went back 6 months. At first, they were professional, discussing campaigns, sharing reports. Then came the jokes, the compliments. "You always make these meetings bearable. That dress in your profile picture is stunning." Soon, the tone shifted entirely. Late-night messages. "Can't stop thinking about last week. I miss your touch already. Wish I was in your hotel room right now instead of going home tomorrow." There were photos, intimate ones, hotel receipts scanned and shared, plans carefully coordinated around his trips. One message from Carla read, "Does Elena suspect anything? We've been so careful these past 6 months." 6 months. Half a year of deliberate deception. I sat in the dark living room until sunrise, reading every word, every attachment. Tears fell silently as the reality sank in. When Javier walked through the door the next afternoon, smiling, carrying gifts for the children and a bouquet of my favorite lilies, I waited until Sophia and Mateo left for school. I confronted him in the kitchen. No screaming, no hysterics, just cold, quiet rage. I turned the laptop toward him and said, "Explain this." His face drained of color. He didn't deny it. He couldn't. He sank into a chair, head in his hands. "Elena, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. It started as flirting to relieve stress. I never meant for it to go this far." "This far?" I whispered. "You've been sleeping with her for 6 months. You planned trips around seeing her. You lied to my face every single day." He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "It didn't mean anything. You're my wife, the mother of my children. I love you. Carla was just an escape." An escape? My voice finally broke. From what? From our life? From me? From the family you claimed to cherish? He begged. He cried. He promised it was over, that he'd end it immediately, go to counseling, anything. But the images in my mind, the messages, the photos, played on repeat. I felt physically ill. That night, after the children were asleep, I told him to pack a bag and leave. He moved into a hotel, then later rented a small apartment across the city. The kids were confused. Why is Papa staying somewhere else? I explained gently that grown-ups sometimes need space to work through problems. Sophia, perceptive beyond her years, watched me with worried eyes, but didn't push. The weeks that followed were a blur of pain and paperwork. Javier bombarded me with messages, apologies, declarations of love, pleas for forgiveness. His parents called, his mother tearfully saying, "Men make mistakes, Elena. Think of the children. A broken home hurts them more." Friends were divided. Some urged reconciliation for the sake of stability. Others supported my decision to protect my dignity. I filed for separation. We agreed on shared custody. Javier saw the children every weekend and 2 evenings a week. To his credit, he never missed a visit. He took them to football practice, helped with school projects, read bedtime stories over video calls when they stayed with me. He was still their father, and he tried hard to show it. I threw myself into work and motherhood. Therapy helped. Weekly sessions where I unpacked the grief, the anger, the shattered trust. I joined a support group for women who'd experienced infidelity. Hearing their stories made me realize I wasn't alone, wasn't foolish for trusting. Months turned into a year. Javier changed visibly. He quit the cologne, stopped late nights, attended individual therapy. He respected boundaries, never pressured me for reconciliation. Slowly, we learned to communicate civilly, for the children's sake. We attended parent-teacher meetings together, celebrated birthdays as a united front. Sophia and Mateo began to smile more genuinely again. One spring afternoon, Javier asked to meet for coffee, just the two of us. No agenda, he said. He looked different, older, humbler. "Elena," he began quietly, "I know I destroyed what we had. I live with that regret every day. Therapy has shown me how selfish I was, how much I took you for granted. I don't expect forgiveness, but I want you to know I'm a better man now because of the pain I caused." I listened without interrupting. Part of me still loved the man he used to be. Part of me hated what he'd done. Over the next months, we talked more, not as husband and wife, but as two people who shared a history and children. We attended family therapy together, learning new ways to communicate. Trust didn't return overnight. It grew slowly, earned through consistent actions. On the second anniversary of that awful discovery, Javier asked if we could try again. Not move back in immediately, but date, slowly, intentionally. I hesitated for weeks, but seeing how he'd changed, how devoted he remained to the children, how honest he now was about his feelings, I agreed. We rebuilt carefully. Couples counseling became our anchor. We set new boundaries, new rituals. Honesty became non-negotiable. The old passion returned, tempered now with maturity and gratitude. Today, we're still together. Not the naive couple we once were, but something stronger, forged in fire. The scar of betrayal remains, it always will. But we've learned that love, true love, involves choice and effort every single day. Sophia and Matteo are thriving, sensing the stability again. And I've found peace, not in forgetting, but in choosing to move forward with eyes wide open. Sometimes second chances work, not because the hurt disappears, but because people can grow and love can endure, if both are willing to do the hard work.